Hello friends and welcome to Pendulum Edu, and today we'll be discussing daily current affairs of 23 July 2020. So guys, quickly join this session, and those who have not subscribed to our channel Pendulum Edu, please subscribe it and do not forget to press the bell icon to receive notification. So without wasting time, let's start. The first news is N95 mask containing walls fail to stop the spread of coronavirus. So recently, the Union Ministry of Health, it has reported that the wall containing N95 mask, you can see the picture of N95 mask with walls. So these have failed to stop the spread of coronavirus, and the use of N95 mask hinders effort to stop the spread of coronavirus as it does not allow the virus to exit. Therefore, the Ministry of Health has recommended the use of in-house protective covers for the face and mouth. So guys, take care of yourself. Cover your faces with if you have any in-house made cover or triple layer mask which do not has a valve. So such type of covers you should use. The health minister appealed to the people to use a 3-layered mask made of cloth and advised others to do the same. So be healthy, stay at home how much it is possible for you guys, and also take care of yourself. Moving forward to the next news, former Union Minister Shiv Pratap Shukla was appointed new Chief Whip of BJP in Rajya Sabha. So recently, the former Union Minister named Shiv Pratap Shukla, he has been appointed as the new Chief Whip of the BJP in the Rajya Sabha, and he represents Rajya Sabha from Uttar Pradesh, and he'll replace Narayan Pancharia, who has recently retired from the upper house. Also, BJP MP Rakesh Singh has been appointed as the party chief whip for the Lok Sabha. So for the Lok Sabha, Rakesh Singh has been appointed as the chief whip of the BJP party, and similarly in the Rajya Sabha, Shiv Pratap Shukla has been appointed as the new chief whip. Mr. Rakesh Singh, he'll replace Sanjay Jaiswal, who is the BJP president of Bihar. And what is this whip? So first of all, the concept of whip was inherited from British colonial rule. So this is very old concept, and a whip is an officer of a political party whose function is to ensure the discipline of the party in the legislature. So this whip, it tries to ensure that any political party's fellow legislators, he's attending the voting session or not, or he's voting according to the party's policy or not, or he's in favor of the party for particular thing or not. So such type of you can say a form of discipline is ensured by this whip, who is an officer. And now the whip for the BJP has been appointed in Rajya Sabha as well as Lok Sabha. Now let us see a question related to the news. In India, the concept of whip is derived from which country? Britain, USA, Russia and France. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? In India, the concept of whip is derived from which country? The correct answer will be option A, that is Britain. Moving to the next news, HIL India Limited supplied 20.60 metric ton of DDT to South Africa for their malaria control program, and this DDT will be used in 3 provinces adjoining Mozambique in South Africa. The region is highly affected by malaria, as we all know that the tropical countries which lies between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, and especially those who are near to equator. So in those countries, issues of diseases like malaria, dengue, then Ebola virus, Zika virus, such type of diseases these region are affected by these diseases, and this region has gained maximum due to the disease in recent years. So you can see, we can say that maximum deaths have occurred due to this region, and due to the malaria in the region, and also the cases of malaria has been rising in this region. And also now India's HIL India Limited, it will provide DDT for the malaria control program. So first of all, malaria, we'll know about malaria. Then malaria is one of the major health public threats, and malaria is caused by protozoa which is a plasmodium. This is a protozoa which causes malaria, and it is spread through mosquito. It is a mosquito borne disease. It is spread through female Anopheles mosquito. So Anopheles mosquito specially spread the this malaria. And in India also there have been cases, and there are cases of malaria. Every year we find a list of so many patients who have suffered with malaria, and especially it is during the rainy season, because it provides ground for mosquito breeding. Talking about HL India Limited, it is the only manufacturer of DDT globally. It is a public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. The company has also exported 25 tons of malathion. Malathion is an insecticide which is used for the pest control outside the homes. So malathion was exported by HL India Limited to Iran, and 32 tons of agrochemical fungicide to the Latin American region recently under government to government initiatives for the locust control program. So this was exported to the countries, to different countries by the HIL India Limited. Now let us see a question related to the news. Which of the following statements is true? HIL India is the only manufacturer of DDT globally. It is a public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. One only, two only, both 1 and 2, and none of the above. So quickly comment the correct answer, that which statement is true. So the correct answer is option C, that is both 1 and 2. HIL India Limited is the only manufacturer of DDT globally. This is true, and it is the public sector undertaking under the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. This statement is also true. Moving forward to the next news, India and Maldives signed an agreement to establish emergency medical services in Malé, which is the capital of Maldives. And this emergency medical services unit, it will provide better care in emergencies. It is one of several small and medium projects which are available in the Maldives by India. You can say the projects which have been started by India or supported by India in Maldives under the grant assistance of USD 20 million. All remaining projects are expected to be completed by the end of this year, and cooperation in the health sector is one of the key areas of partnership between India and Maldives. So in health sector, in healthcare sector, India has started many projects, and India has funded many projects in Maldives, and it is one of the sector of cooperation between India and Maldives. India has also given full support to meet the needs of Maldives to deal with the pandemic coronavirus, and India has also sent a 14-member medical team to the Maldives. India has also exempted this country, Maldives, from the export of hydroxychloroquine pills and other medicines. Talking about Maldives, you can see the location of Maldives over here. This is Maldives, and it is a small island nation in South Asia located in Arabian Sea. It is located about 700 kilometers from the mainland of the Asian continent to the southwest of Sri Lanka and India. You can see the location in the map. Its capital is Malé, and the currency is Maldivian rupiah. And also this Maldives, it is a part of SAARC nations. SAARC is South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. It is the regional intergovernmental organization and geopolitical union of states in South Asia. And the member states in this are India, Afghanistan, Bangladesh, Bhutan, Maldives, Nepal, Pakistan and Sri Lanka. And comment quickly, where are the headquarters of SAARC located? Quickly comment, where are the headquarters of SAARC located? The correct answer is Kathmandu. Okay, Kathmandu in Nepal, the headquarters of SAARC are located. And this SAARC was founded in 1985. Moving forward to the question part. Recently, India has signed an agreement for the establishment of emergency medical services in the capital of which country? Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives and Bhutan. Quickly comment the correct answer. Sri Lanka, Nepal, Maldives and Bhutan. The correct answer is option C, that is Maldives. Moving to the next news. Indian Coast Guard recovered a Thai deep ocean tsunami buoy from the northern Andaman. So a Thai deep ocean tsunami buoy was recovered by Indian Coast Guard from the North Andaman, and this buoy was deployed in the Bay of Bengal by the National Disaster Warning Center of Thailand. And what is this buoy? It is a floating device. Buoy is a floating device which is used for various purposes, and this was recovered by Indian Coast Guard recently. And this buoy was for tsunami, to know that if tsunami is coming, so that alert can be raised. So that is why it was installed over there. Thailand approached the Directorate of Disaster Management at Port Blair and enlisted the assistance of the Indian Coast Guard to search for the buoy. So it has been handed over to the National Oceanographic Information Center of India. It is actually it is Indian National Center for Oceanic Information Services, Info Services, that is INCOIS. So it has been handed over to INCOIS, that is Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, and now from there it will be handed over to the National Disaster Warning Center of Thailand. So quickly comment where this INCOIS is located. Quickly comment. Where are the headquarters of this INCOIS is located? It's located in Hyderabad. So questions have been asked from the institution part, that where various institutions are located in which region. So therefore you should know if any institute or any organization is in news. So you should know its location, where its headquarters are located. It was founded in 1999, INCOIS. Now moving forward, talking about Indian Coast Guard, it is an armed force, a maritime search and rescue and law enforcement agency. It also protects India's maritime interest. It works under the Ministry of Defense. Its headquarters are located in New Delhi, and this was established on 18th of August in 1978. Now moving forward, let us see a question related to the news. In which year was the Indian Coast Guard established? 1968, 1978, 1988 and 1998. Guys, keep commenting the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? The correct answer is option B, that is 1978. And INCOIS, it was in news for another reason. It launched 3 ocean-based services. It was in news during February that it launched 3 ocean-based services. Okay, so these services like the Small Vessel Advisory and Forecast Service System, the Swell Surge Forecast System, and the Algal Bloom Information Service. So see, these 3 services, these were issued by the NCOIS. It was launched by NCOIS Hyderabad, and it is an autonomous organization. So what type of organization it is? Autonomous organization, and it comes under the Ministry of Earth Sciences. Ministry is also important, Ministry of Earth Sciences. Okay, so INCOIS is Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. So if any question is asked, I hope you will be able to answer that. Now moving forward, Pi Approximation Day is celebrated every year on 22nd July, because 22nd July is written as 22/7, and the approximate value of pi, that is 22/7, is equal to the date of 22/7. Therefore, every year Pi Approximation Day is celebrated on 22nd July. And what is pi? Pi is represented by a Greek letter, this, and it is a mathematical constant. And in 1706, pi was introduced by William Jones. And we can define it as the ratio of the circumference to the diameter of the circle. And you can cancel out this 2r, so pi will be remain. So that is why it is defined as the ratio of circumference of a circle to its diameter. So this is a circle, it is the radius from the center. So the circumference is defined as 2 pi r, and the diameter will be 2r. Okay. Its value is 22/7 or 3.14. It is an irrational number and it cannot be expressed as a ratio of whole numbers. Its value is determined by 10 to 12 trillion digits after the decimal value, and these values are never ending and they do not repeat itself. Pi Day is observed every year on 14th March. So Pi approximation day is celebrated on 22nd July. But Pi Day is observed on 14th March because the value of pi is 3.14. So on 14th March it will be the date 14/3. Therefore it is celebrated, Pi Day is celebrated on 14th March. Now let us see the question related to the news. Pi approximation day is celebrated on which day every year? 14 March, 22nd April, 22nd July and 16th of August. What will be the correct answer for this? Option C will be the correct answer. 14th March is celebrated as Pi Day, National Pi Day it is celebrated. 22nd April, Earth Day is celebrated. And on 22nd July, Pi approximation day is celebrated. Moving forward to the next news, Government of Tamil Nadu has started a web portal for the unorganized sector workers. And now the workers can join state-run welfare boards through this portal. The move is expected to help thousands of workers in the Tamil Nadu, state of Tamil Nadu. The government of Tamil Nadu is running 17 different welfare boards for the unorganized sector workers. The wards of the board members are providing educational scholarships, marriage support and skills training, health facilities and insurance to the unorganized sector workers. Talking about Tamil Nadu, it is famous for South Indian Dravidian style of Hindu temples. Usually in North India, we have a separate style of temple architecture which is Nagara, and one is Vesara which is a fusion of which is, you can say, hybrid style of Nagara and Dravidian. On the island of Pamban, the Ramanatha Swami temple is a pilgrimage site. The Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu currently is Addapadi K. Palani Swami and the capital is Chennai. Now quickly comment who is the current governor of Tamil Nadu. Who is the current governor of Tamil Nadu? Quickly comment. Keep commenting, keep commenting. So the correct answer is Banwari Lal Purohit. Moving forward, a memorandum of understanding for data exchange was signed between CBDT and CBIC. So recently an MOU has been signed between Central Board of Direct Taxes, that is CBDT, and the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs for data exchange. This MOU, it will facilitate the exchange of data and information between the two bodies on an automated and regular basis. And CBDT and CBIC, they are already collaborating through various existing mechanisms, and this is another initiative in that direction. Talking about CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, it is a statutory body which was established under the Central Revenue Act of 1963. It deals with the matters related to levy and collection of direct taxes like personal income tax, corporate tax, etc. The current chairman of CBDT is Mr. Pramod Chandra Modi. Talking about Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, so initially it was named as CBEC, that is Central Board of Excise and Customs, and later its name was changed. It was renamed to Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. It is a part of Department of Revenue under the Ministry of Finance. It deals with the formulation of policy related to collection and levy of taxes like customs, central excise, central goods and services tax, IGST, etc. The current chairman of CBIC is M. Ajit Kumar. Okay, so this was all information about CBDT and CBIC. So let us see a question related to the news. What is not true with respect to the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs? You have to tell which statement is not true with respect to CBIC. It is a part of the Department of Revenue under the Ministry of Finance. Its present chairman is Mr. Pramod Chandra Modi. One only, two only, both 1 and 2, and none of the above. So what will be the correct answer for this? Quickly comment. The correct answer is option B, that is its present chairman is not Mr. Pramod Chandra Modi, it is M. Ajit Kumar. So that is why this second statement is not correct. Now moving forward, Amazon founder Jeff Bezos added a record 13 billion more to his wealth in a single day, and this is the largest one-day increase for an individual since the Bloomberg Billionaires Index was created in 2012. So the first time this has taken place that the largest one-day increase in the wealth of a person has been recorded. And Amazon stock has gained 7.9% due to coronavirus infection. And as we all know, due to coronavirus, nobody is going to malls and other shopping complexes for shopping. People are preferring going online, and since the delivery system and the quality services is there by Amazon, so that is why people are preferring more this Amazon, Flipkart, such type of online websites for online shopping. Online shopping has increased by 73% this year due to coronavirus pandemic. So some are gaining due to this coronavirus and some are losing something. World's top 5 billionaires. Let us know the names of world's top 5 billionaires. Jeff Bezos has a total net worth of $189.3 billion. Bernard Arnault and his family has $114.6 billion of total property. Bill Gates have $113.4 billion, Mark Zuckerberg $90.3 billion, and Elon Musk $74.2 million. Mark Zuckerberg, he is the head of, or you can say he's the founder of which company? Quickly comment. We all know this. Mark Zuckerberg. Yes, Facebook. And Elon Musk, he is related to which company? He is the owner of which company? Elon Musk, quickly comment. This is also easy. He was in news recently. He is the owner of SpaceX. And why SpaceX was in news? Because for the first time any private company, it has launched a commercial flight, and it launched the NASA's commercial crew program. It was part of NASA's commercial crew program, and the name of that flight was, the rocket was used as Falcon 9 rocket for the launch of that Crew Dragon. So Falcon 9 rocket contained the Crew Dragon, and Crew Dragon was launched by SpaceX, and this was part of NASA's commercial crew program, and 2 NASA's astronauts were there, which was sent to ISS, International Space Station, for continuing some research related to commercial crew program. So SpaceX was in news. Now tell me about Bill Gates. Bill Gates is the owner of which company? Bill Gates, very famous person. He is the co-founder of Microsoft. Yes. Now for you guys, the next question is Bernard Arnault. He is the owner of which company? Bernard Arnault. Quickly comment. He is the chairman and chief executive of LVMH. Okay. So these are some billionaires, top 5 billionaires. You should know about them, that these are the owners of which company, because the questions in exams like SSC, these are asked. Now moving forward, let us see a question. Jeff Bezos, the world's richest man, is the founder of which company? Amazon, Walmart, Flipkart, and Alibaba. Quickly comment. This is very easy. You should not take much time to solve this. The correct answer is option A, that is, he is the founder of Amazon. Now moving forward to the next news. Serum Institute of India, Pune, will soon start testing the COVID-19 vaccine, which is made by Oxford University in AstraZeneca. So recently, the vaccine, which is named as CHAdOx1 nCoV-19, this is the name of the vaccine, which is developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca. So it has claimed that the human trials, the second phase human trials, have been successful. And now the Serum Institute of India, which is located in Pune, it has said that it will manufacture the vaccine and supply the vaccine to more than 60 other countries, including India, with a combined population of 3 billion. And it is expected to be launched by June 2021 after testing. So you can expect that it will take around a year to for any vaccine to come into the market. Now moving forward, Nobel banquet was cancelled again due to coronavirus spread. So as we all know that due to the coronavirus spread, it will not be possible to hold the ceremony for the distribution of Nobel Prize. So therefore, this has been again cancelled. And initially it was cancelled during World War First and Second, and in 1907 it was cancelled for the first time, then 1924, and then 1956, and now for the year 2020 it has been cancelled. Nobel Foundation has stated that the awards for medicine, physics, chemistry, literature, peace and economics, they'll be announced between 5 and 12 October 2020, and the award winners, they'll be able to receive their awards in their respective countries or embassies. So there'll not be any award ceremony which is every year held in Swedish capital Stockholm, but it will be the winners will receive the prize during in their particular country or embassies. Every year on 10 December, the anniversary of the death of Alfred Nobel, the founder of the awards, the grand banquet is held in the Swedish capital Stockholm for the after the distribution of the Nobel prizes. And this includes all but the Nobel laureate of peace, because the Nobel laureates of peace, they are honored in Oslo, which is the capital of Norway. So all Nobel prizes in different fields are distributed on 10 December in Stockholm, but the Nobel Peace Prize, it is honored, the Nobel laureates are honored in Oslo, which is the capital of Norway. So it is exception over here. Moving forward, in which country is the Nobel Prize except Peace Prize awarded every year? Sweden, UK, Denmark and USA. Quickly comment the correct answer. In which country is the Nobel Prize awarded every year except the Peace Prize? The correct answer is option A, that is Sweden. Moving forward to the next news. Kannapuram in Kannur district of Kerala to be declared as indigenous mango heritage area. Kannapuram in Kannur district of Kerala will be declared as indigenous mango heritage area on the occasion of National Mango Day on 22nd July. So every year on 22nd July, National Mango Day is celebrated. The Kannapuram Panchayat is home to over 200 different types of mangoes. And as we all know that mango is named after its taste, size, color of peel or the nature of pulp. Like there is a variety Thenga Manga, and it is named because it is as big as a coconut. Then there is another variety of mango, that is Suvarna Cherian, which get its name from its golden color. And Kadu Kachi is a type of a small mango, and there are 20 different varieties in this category. So this was all about the mango day and the different types of mangoes. Now talking about the question, Kannapuram will be declared as an indigenous mango heritage area. In which state is this area located? Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Kerala. Quickly comment the correct answer. Kannapuram is located in which state? Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Kerala. The correct answer is option D, that is Kerala. Moving forward to the next news. Delhi High Court has asked the Delhi government to respond to the petition of Bachpan Bachao Andolan. And in this petition, the statement of child witnesses at child welfare centers were recorded through video conferencing. And this petition was filed by the Bachpan Bachao Andolan due to the spread of COVID-19. What is this Bachpan Bachao Andolan? It is a movement which was started in 1980 by Kailash Prakash Satyarthi for the children's right. And the aim of this movement is to find out children who have been victims of child crimes due to various reasons, save those child and reconnect them to the mainstream of the society. So basically the rehabilitation and identification of victims of child crimes, and to protect those child, to provide them education, to try to connect them to the mainstream of the society. So this is the aim of this movement. So Kailash Prakash Satyarthi was also given the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014 for his contribution towards child education jointly with Malala Yousafzai. Okay. So let's see a question related to the news. Bachpan Bachao Andolan was started by whom in 1980? Kailash Satyarthi, Sundarlal Bahuguna, Medha Patkar and Rita Bahuguna. Quickly comment the correct answer. What will be the correct answer for this? The correct answer is option A, that is Kailash Satyarthi. Talking about Medha Patkar, so she is an Indian social activist and she was central organizer and strategist for the Narmada Bachao Andolan. Because there was a Narmada Valley development project which displaced many people. So therefore a movement was started, Narmada Bachao Andolan, for the environment, protection of environment and people living over there, and to protect the habitat of the various species over there. So, and she was awarded the Goldman. This is very famous environment prize, Goldman Environmental Prize. She was awarded for this Narmada Bachao Andolan. And Sundarlal Bahuguna, he was a noted Gadwali environmentalist and he was famous for Chipko movement. He was the Chipko movement leader and he was awarded the Right Livelihood Award, Padma Vibhushan and Padma Shri for his efforts. So friends, here we have covered the daily current affairs and related news, and I hope you are daily following this daily current affairs video. These current affairs are also available in Hindi as well, so you can also refer to that. And those who have any doubt, they can mention that in comment box. Please like this video, share it as much as you can. We'll meet you again. All the best. Keep preparing well. Thank you so much.